Doesn't look like much, does it? Just some tanks, a pump jack, no big deal. Yeah, right. Here's the truth. If you're not a trained professional, you don't belong here. And you're one wrong move away from your story having a very bad ending. Like hanging out at well sites? Really? It's not cool and not smart. See, well sites are like any other work site or industrial area. If you're not trained, you don't know what you're doing. And if you don't know what you're doing, any number of bad things could happen. Maybe you're thinking to yourself, whatever, I've hung around well sites before and didn't get hurt. Congrats, you got lucky this time. But smart beats lucky every time. Not convinced? Well, let the pros fill you in. First up, the biggie, pump jacks.
Moving or not, it should be a no-brainer. Don't go near it. Too bad some people just don't get it. See these counterweights? They can weigh up to 10 tons. That's enough to crush a car. Then there's the electrical box, which powers this whole unit. You wouldn't grab onto a power line, right? Grabbing this would be just as bad. Think it's safe now that it's stopped? No way. It's on a timer and can start up without warning. You would have no idea. Well, not until it's too late.
There's more to a well site than just pump jacks. So let's talk about these fellas here. Storage tanks. See that hatch up there? It's closed for a reason, to keep the fumes inside where they belong. And those stairs? In case you couldn't tell, they can be up to 2 stories tall. If you slip, it's a long way down. Fact is, around storage tanks, sometimes even the smallest action can have a very big reaction.
These are storage tanks. You might look at them and say, I bet I could get a pretty good view of the scenery from up there. Well, think again, because good view or not, you don't belong here. One wrong move could have a very bad consequence. What do I mean exactly? Well, hopefully you know you should never use a cell phone around a gas pump, or even worse, light a flame. Well, guess what? Doing these things around a storage tank can be just as bad. It doesn't take much to start a fire. It could be a spark, or even static electricity from your cell phone or your clothes. So treat storage tanks like you would anything else that's flammable, with respect. Better yet, be smart and stay away.
So say your buddies are all like, hey, you want to hang out near that well site on Saturday? And you say to yourself, sure, I'll just stay away from the pump jacks and storage tanks. Yeah, not so much. If you're messing around on a well site, you're asking for trouble. And if you're not trained to be there, you just might find it.
It's pretty simple. If you're not a professional, you should never step foot on a well site.
Because if you don't have the training we do, you have no clue of the dangers.
See these tall tanks? They're heater treaters. It can get above 140 degrees, hot enough to cause third-degree burns. Just like you would never touch a hot stove, you should never touch these either.
Barbed or razor wire fences guard many well sites, and they do so for a reason. You see, some people consider well sites public land.
Trust me, they're not.
Sneak on one, and you're breaking the law.
And don't forget pipelines. They're not just around well sites, but can be found anywhere. They're one of the safest ways to transport oil and natural gas around the country. But tamper with them, and it could mean trouble.
So there you have it. In case you missed it, those weren't actors. They were all trained professionals. Each went through hours of training and learned all sorts of safety rules just to work on a well site. So, moral of the story? Next time your friend, kind of friend, I met you once at a party friend, brother, sister, dog, cat, anyone says, hey, when I hang out at a well site, don't push your luck. Be smart and say no, and tell them to do the same. Stay away from well sites, because smart beats lucky every time.